Geoff, finally a real live album from Queensrÿche. That was about time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. We really just hadn't got around to making one. And with our new record company, Sanctuary, they really wanted us to do this and sort of inspired us to begin working on it.
Did you ever think about doing an album like this in the past? I mean, you released a live video from Japan early in your career, and you also released some live recordings in connection with the Operation Mindcrime album.
Yeah.
But did you ever talk about releasing such a live album like this?
No, never.
What's the reason for that?
We just weren't interested. The band has always been more into studio work and recording. And that's really where our interests lie. And live record just never really was an interesting project for us, really. Mm-hmm. And we needed somebody else to sort of take the reins and say, okay, we're going to record this, and make it happen, because nobody in the band ever would.
Right. I was really happy to see the track list. I mean, it covers the whole career of Queensrÿche. Mm-hmm. Did you have to rehearse a bunch of forgotten songs, or have you been playing all those songs frequently?
Well, the rest of the guys got together over the summer for rehearsals, and but I was busy doing my solo record at the time, and I wanted to sort of approach this live performance in a different manner. I didn't want to rehearse for the thing. I wanted to really go into it fresh and inspired. So I didn't rehearse with the band, and I just showed up for the shows. And it was really a good plan. I'm glad I did it this way, because I had a great show, and everything was new and fresh and to me, and I wasn't sick of playing the songs already, and it was a real honest performance, and I'm glad we got it down on tape.
I read in an interview a while ago that you wanted to make new and modern versions of your old classics. Are the versions on this live album very different from the originals? No, not really. There's a couple songs that are different, but pretty much it's a straightforward sort of rendition of each song that people are used to. You recorded the album in your hometown, Seattle. Was that just a coincidence, or did you choose to do it in your hometown?
Well, there's a number of different reasons. One, we have a lot of fans here. Two, we have good relations with the venue that we wanted to use. We wanted a venue that would give us all the things we needed, like access to the place ahead of time. We wanted it to look a certain way. We wanted it to sound a certain way. Just all those things are very important. And, we had good contacts here in the city with the venues, and felt that it would be easier for everybody to get to this venue, because everybody lives in Seattle, in the band. It just made a lot more sense to do it here. Were you pleased with the way that the band played that night and the sound, or did you work much in the studio afterwards to make it sound, well, as good as you wanted it to sound? No, I think the band was really well rehearsed, and I had a great show myself, so it was just a great night. Did you do any overdubs at all in the studio? I mean, that's very usual to do that. Yeah, well, I didn't, because I wanted it to be an actual live performance. It is what it is. I've got a few weird spots in it, but it's actually a full live performance from me. I don't know about the other guys if they'd fixed anything or anything, as I haven't spoken to them, or I wasn't around for the mixing or anything either. So Kelly mixed the record. The album starts with your oldest songs and ends with the newest ones. Did you play the songs in that order at the concert? Yeah, I think we did. You recorded two nights, is that right? Uh-huh. So you just made a mix out of both concerts? Yeah. I think there's the majority, I'd say probably 98% of the recording was done, was taken from the second night. Okay. The first night we had a bunch of technical problems with the recording stuff. I know that you started working already on your next studio album. The rumors say that you're going back to your roots now. Is that right? Well, actually, we haven't written anything for the new record.
You haven't?
No, we don't start till January.
Which direction do you think the band will take now?
I really don't know. We've all been doing side projects, and so I think when we come back to do a Queensrÿche record, we'll all be very enthusiastic and refreshed. And so it could really go anywhere. I'm not quite certain what it's going to be like or what it's going to sound like, or I can't give you any specifics because I really don't know. But I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be really fun to get back together and do something.
Yeah, sure. A few words about your solo record. It hasn't been released yet, as far as I know. Musically, what is it like? Well, it's a collection of songs, and there's a number of different writers contributing to the record that I collaborated with, and so it's a record that I'm having a challenge making it sound like a consistent record because it's a lot of different types of songs. And it's very vocally oriented. There's not, metal, stereotypical metal guitar, the chunka thing, I don't think there's anything like that at all on it. So it's a departure, a direct departure for me from what I've been doing. As is Queensrÿche, I think, a departure from probably most metal or hard rock. We're our own kind of thing. This is sort of a departure from Queensrÿche for me. Your guest musicians and your guest writers, are any of those well known? Some of them are. I can't really say as to who's on it yet because it isn't finished. Okay. I also know that you were talking about a project with Rob Halford and Bruce Dickinson. Is that just a rumor? I know that you sung together on the Halford live album. Will you be working with those guys in the future? I don't know. While we were touring together, we talked about doing a project, and we actually got so far as to meet in London and have a meeting at the record company about it. But it really became an issue of scheduling that none of us would be able to work on it till next year because we all had different commitments with our prospective bands, and so I know there's a want to do something together, but it's really down to scheduling the time to work on it, and because it's a project, I think that we all agree that it needs to have the focus of everyone involved. To make it be what it could be, and we all want to give it that kind of focus. So it's definitely set for in the future at some point. Will your solo album be your main focus until you start writing with Queensrÿche again? Yeah. Or will it be possible to combine both those careers? That you'll be doing some solo concerts and stuff while you're recording and touring with Queensrÿche, or will you just do one thing at a time? Well, I really don't know yet. I really don't have an answer for you on that. I definitely see that it's a possibility to coexist in some manner. But I don't know quite how it's all going to work yet. It's all kind of in the beginning planning stages, really.